metal counters would do well, and over a 1 to 1.5 or 2 year period, I think Tata Steel could do very well. Also for Larsen & Toubro, we can say that the company has a good order backlog. Also, the company has delivered good set of numbers in this quarter, and I see no reason why the company wouldn't deliver good set of numbers. And whenever the investment capex starts picking, I think this stock would be the first beneficiary and would start doing well immediately. For Titan, I feel that Titan seems to be a little overvalued at this point of time. So I have recommended him to probably book out of Titan and buy something in the banking space. His portfolio, in fact, doesn't have anything in the banking space, which I had marked at that time. ICICI Bank in the private banking space has been our top pick since some time. And we feel that this stock has a lot of legs up. Even the company has done extremely well in the last 2-3 year period, reducing its NPAs and doing very well on the NIM front as well. So I think about the first 3 stocks, I think 2 stocks are extremely good, and the third stock that he can add is ICICI Bank.
Now here's the problem spot in his portfolio, Devang. Coming to the next 3 stocks, that's Hindalco, Sesa as well as HCC, and massive quantities of all 3.
Again, as I said, purely on valuation basis, Hindalco he can hold. Though I have again suggested him to reduce exposure a little bit in Hindalco and add some quality stocks, but primarily it's a hold, because around 104 rupees, I think Hindalco is quite cheap. It will do very well over a 1.5-2 year period. Coming to other stock, which is Sesa, I think the company has been in the news for all the wrong reasons, and I think he has to get out of this stock, because the future of mining immediately doesn't look great. So I have recommended him switch from Sesa to Maruti Suzuki. Again, we have seen that he doesn't have any holding in the automobile space, and I think Maruti as well as M&M look extremely good. Our top pick would be Maruti, because what we have seen in the last time around, the Manesar strike had taken a toll on the stock price, and probably if the company could do around 85-90 rupees of EPS this year, the stock is trading somewhere around, I guess, 12-13 times, which is quite cheap for Maruti. I think he should buy something like Maruti into his portfolio. And regarding HCC, I think he should get out of the stock as soon as possible, because the company is not doing anything spectacular. The results have been very bad. Also, I think the debt on the company's book is quite high. So he should exit out of Hindustan Construction and buy something like Zydus Wellness, which I have suggested. Now, Zydus Wellness has its interest in the wellness category. Its prime product, sugar-free, has around 82% market share. Another of its products, Nutralite, is a table margarine, which has around 73% market share. Both these products, as well as this one of its skin cream, Everyuth, is doing extremely well. And the stock is available quite ridiculously cheap if you compare it to the other FMCG universe. I think Zydus Wellness will do extremely well if he switches it out from HCC.
Devang, and should Premlal replace Grasim, Tata Chemicals as well as Indian Hotels with any other stock, or should he stay invested in these 3?
Grasim, Tata Chem as well as Indian Hotels, I have recommended him to stay invested. I think Grasim is doing extremely well. Grasim indirectly holds a stake in Ultratech Cement, which is doing extremely well in cement. Also, the VSF business of Grasim is doing really well. I think it makes prudence to stay invested in Grasim. Coming to other stocks like Tata Chem, again, one of the better stocks to hold in the chemical and fertilizer category, are doing extremely well, plus seems to be a little undervalued. I think he can hold that. And regarding the hotel sector as well as Indian hotels, the sector has not done well since the last 2 years. It's high time that it catches up. And in fact, the tourism industry that is flourishing in India, I think Indian hotels is going to be a prime beneficiary. So I think it will be great that if he stays invested in these 3 stocks, it could fetch him good returns.
Well, now, Devang, that's his overall portfolio, but there are some stocks that have caught his attention. He wants to know, is this the right time to buy? Should he buy into Siemens, Kingfisher Airlines and GAIL at these levels?
In fact, for Siemens, we would recommend that he shouldn't go ahead and buy Siemens, because there are a lot of problems in the company. I think the order book to sales ratio, if we see, has come down from around 1.5 to 1 times. Also, there have not been any major orders trickling down. Also, the capex that is not getting any boost at this point. Siemens would be an underperformer some time to come. Another stock that we like in this universe is Cummins India, because of India's power deficit status. I think the business that Cummins is mainly into, the power generator business, is doing extremely well. Plus, being an MNC, there are no other issues for this company. On the valuation front also, it looks quite attractive. So we feel that instead of going for Siemens, he could go in for something like Cummins India.
And Devang, what about Kingfisher and GAIL?
Aviation industry over the world has not done anything spectacular in the last few years. In India, the case seems to be again the same. For Kingfisher Airlines, it seems to be in dire straits, and I think the operations of the company are still not doing anything good. KFA, we had a report at around 25 rupees. We had asked people to avoid this stock. We continue to maintain that there is nothing in the aviation industry that he could fetch a return out of. So I think he should avoid Kingfisher, and rather going in for Kingfisher, he should buy something like TCS. His portfolio lacks anything in IT. And IT is a sector which has outperformed, and I see that outperformers will keep on outperforming for some time to come. And the positive commentary that the TCS management has given just few days back will rub well on the stock, and I think it's time that he buys TCS into his portfolio. Regarding another stock, GAIL, I think again there has been a problem with the subsidy sharing on GAIL. Also revenue has degrown in the last 2-3 quarters. So it's not time that one buys GAIL. In spite of GAIL, I think he should buy something like Hindustan Zinc. Now Hindustan Zinc, this is a contra play. Again, it's a metal sector, but why I'm suggesting Hindustan Zinc is because Vedanta Group has its interest in this company, and also it is going to buy out the entire stake from government. This company has around 45 rupees of cash per share on the balance sheet. Around 8,000 rupees, $8,000 per ton is its production cost, which is one of the lowest in the world, while the other players have around 13,000 US dollar per ton. So I think this stock is quite ridiculously cheap, and he has to have it in his portfolio.
Devang, he also has 2 more stocks on his radar, Jyoti Laboratories as well as Rolta India. You think he should buy into them at current levels?
Jyoti Labs, in fact, we had a buy on the stock. We had a target price of around 155, and the target has been achieved today. So if he wants to buy into Jyoti Labs, which is an extremely good company, I would ask him to maybe try and buy it a little low, around 130, 135. If the stock comes at that price, he should buy it. Otherwise, he has an alternative to buy a stock like Rural Electrification Corporation, which is a proxy play into infrastructure. I think it doesn't hold any infrastructure stock, and infrastructure wouldn't do anything spectacular for some time. Rural Electrification Corporation is into power financing, into infrastructure financing, electrification financing. I think this stock has been showing very good numbers. The return on assets, the return on equity has been constantly expanding, and I see no reason why this stock would not do well. I think he has to buy REC in spite of Jyoti Laboratories at this point. And regarding Rolta India, I think Rolta India, there are major problems the company is facing at this point. Again, the revenue has not shown any type of growth, and in the increasing competition scenario in the IT stocks, mid-cap IT stocks, and the solutions company, there is going to be a little tougher environment for this company. Again, I would suggest a banking stock here, a stock like IndusInd Bank, which is a mid-cap private banking stock, which could do very well over a longer term period. The NIMs for this bank have been robust. The asset quality has been superb. I think IndusInd Bank currently seems to be a lot undervalued, and it will fetch a premium valuation. So I think the prudence is in buying IndusInd Bank rather than buying into Rolta India.
Hope we got your entire portfolio assessed, but here's a disclaimer from our end. Remember, please do consult your portfolio advisor before taking any individual investments, because this is only a model portfolio.
Well, with that, we slip into a short break, but coming up, we get you some more stock recommendations from our guests.
This is Buy Now Sell Now Weekend. Thanks so much for staying with us.
Well, time then to get you some stock-specific ideas from our guests. Deepa, first come to you. Tell us which stocks would you be recommending and why?
Well, the first of them is a buy. It's McLeod Russell. This stock has been in a pretty strong uptrend, at least until the middle of July. After that, it had reached a new high at that time. Since then, it's corrected in a flattish sort of way, only a mild decline, and now it seems to be starting an intermediate uptrend again. So given that situation, this is a pretty good entry point for entering the stock, whether you are doing it for a short-term trade or a medium-term trade or even a long-term investment. It fits the bill on all these counts. The stop loss and target that I've given are really for the short-term traders. The stop loss is at 310 and the target of 329, which should be attainable in a time frame of roughly a week. There is just the one short sale that's in BHEL. This has started weakening again with the market. This is a trade which could be a day trade, could reach the target on Monday itself or maybe a couple of days. The stop loss is 217.5 and a target of 207.
Okay, a buy on McLeod Russell, shorting BHEL. Those are the stock picks that Deepak is recommending. Well, from a long-term fundamental perspective, Devang, what's catching your fancy?
I'm recommending two stocks today. The first being GSFC. Now, this stock operates into two categories. One is industrial as well as fertilizer. Now, among the industrial category, caprolactam, which is its prime product, the company has the largest market share into this. 70,000 metric tons of production capacity for this product, and this is used in the tire industry. The company's immediate brand recall, the Sardar, which is a fertilizer diammonium phosphate, it's a prime product of this company, and it has a great acceptance in the Gujarat region, which has done extremely well in the agriculture field. Also, the company is currently quite undervalued. If we see the visibility of the earnings, if you compare it with its book value, the stock currently trades at around 0.8 times its book value. The company has a lot of investments plus cash of around 441 rupees on the book. I think this stock will do extremely well over the longer term period, and the average trading band of this stock has been in the price to book range of 1 to 1.2 and currently available at around 0.8 times with great visibility on ROEs, with also great numbers in the last 2 or 3 quarters.
Those are the stock recommendations from Deepak as well as Devang, and thanks so much, gentlemen, for joining in on the show. But with that, we wrap it up right here on Buy Now Sell Now Weekend. Goodbye from Kamyami. Thanks so much for watching, and remember, here are the timings that you can tune in to the show.